paper. You were all given this rubric today. It should have been sent in a live grades message that was attached. But sometimes when you look at rubrics, it can just be a little bit overwhelming. So I've created a PowerPoint presentation I'm going to take you through to help you understand. So you're going to be writing a multi-mode essay, and I've given you this as kind of a visual guide so you can see what it's going to look like and the differences that are present. So we begin with the definition of a multi-mode essay. It's going to take a central idea. For our essay, one of the themes of your independent reading novel is your central idea. So you pick one of the many themes. And you'll notice your week 4 work is all about themes. That's going to lay the foundation for your text. And you're going to represent that theme through multiple genres of writing. We've all read multiple genres of writing. You've read horror, science fiction, nonfiction, all those different things, mystery, suspense. And we've written multiple genres of writing. Rhetorical analysis is its own genre. Synthesis is its own genre. Argumentation is its own genre, and they have their own rules and ways of approaching writing. It's meant to allow you to show your creativity while also showing your ability to do research, analysis, things like that. So you don't just have to follow and stay within these rigid forms of writing that we've done most of the year. This is going to allow you some flexibility and some creativity. And your essay has to incorporate 6 different genres or types of writing in 6 paragraphs. It's only 6 paragraphs. So when we talk about science fiction, you're not writing an entire science fiction story for me. You're just giving me a clip, a glimpse into what potentially might be a larger science fiction story that you might write. You're just going to give me a small piece. The same for mystery or suspense. And I'll show you those things as we go throughout. I'll give you examples using my independent text, which I'll be doing yellow wallpaper as mine. So for a comparison, a typical essay. If I was going to write a typical essay on one of the themes of yellow wallpaper, it would all be one genre of writing. All the paragraphs would flow into another. It would have an introduction and a conclusion. It would follow APA, must follow rules of grammar and punctuation. Whereas a multi-mode essay still has that one theme, but we approach it in 6 different ways. That means the paragraphs may not flow as easily, but the theme is going to unify them. It doesn't have an introduction or a conclusion. We're going to start, every one of your multi-mode essays will start with your rhetorical analysis paragraph. And it's probably going to be easiest to end with your synthesis paragraph, but that's up to you. You're still going to follow APA citation style, and you're still going to follow the rules of grammar and punctuation. Your paper must have 6 different genres or style of writing. 4 of them you're going to choose. You've got lots of flexibility. 2 of them are required, so you're going to have a paragraph of rhetorical analysis. This is our week 4 work. You're going to have a paragraph on synthesis research on your theme. This is going to be part of our week 5 work. And they're all going to be about just that one main theme of your independent reading. None of the genres can be repeated, so I can't have 2 different rhetorical analysis paragraphs. And you have to have APA formatting, and you'll see the link on your rubric that'll help you through that. Some genre information. So you're required to have that paragraph of rhetorical analysis and a paragraph of synthesis, but what about the others? So when we talk about the others, you pick the other 4, and there's lots of flexibility. You can do poetry about whatever that theme is. And for poetry, you would need at least 6 lines of poetry. You can do a script or a play where we just see this small snippet of dialogue between 2 characters with some stage directions that are giving us an idea of what that might look like in an actual play or performance or movie. You could have a third-person narrative where you are narrating the actions of someone and that theme is present. You could be writing a memoir about your personal experiences with this genre. You could be doing science fiction, where you just have a paragraph that has an aspect of science fiction present. It's not going to be the whole story. You're not writing me a whole story. You're just giving me a paragraph that in that paragraph it's going to represent the things that you might see in science fiction. Or you could do romance. Again, just a paragraph that would represent what you would expect to see in the genre of romance. You could do a paragraph in journalistics, or it's just reporting the main facts related to that theme. You could do a paragraph of mystery or suspense. You could do a comic. For a comic, you want at least 6 frames. And since this is a final paper, if all you do is draw stick figures, I wouldn't recommend a comic. You could do horror, so you have a brief snippet of a horror story that's going to incorporate that theme. You could do a picture of art. So you could do any kind of art representation. So if I work in oils or pastels or charcoal or mixed media, I could have that representation in art. And that's going to be actually part of your paper. So you have the ability, if you're a more artistic person, to incorporate that, as well as other genres that are approved by me. If you see something that's not on here that you want to incorporate into your essay, contact me, because one of the main things, I'm open to your creativity, but we have to have different genres that are easily distinguishable. And your paper will have labeled genres. So before my poetry, I'll have a label that says poetry, and then I'll have my poetry. We want to be able to look at each of these individually and be able to identify that they are different. No genre can be present more than once, and everything is all your original work. You are writing these things. So to help you understand what that looks like, I'm going to give you some visual components. So it's like this. Here is me. Here I am. If I'm going to be representing my physical self as your theme, okay? So here's my theme. This is what a regular essay would look like. This is me in my classroom, regular theme. Okay, it's actually senior falls classroom, but still, regular theme. Now, if I wanted to represent that theme as horror, here is me holding a saw and a can of gasoline, right? Horror, right? What's happening? What's going on? So we see this snippet into something else, right? We still have the same physical form of me present. That's our theme, but it's dressed up in horror, okay? Now we have science fiction, right? Same me, but I am dressed up, being represented in the genre of science fiction. Here's romance, okay? Me, senior full, dressed up in the theme of romance. Action, same me, dressed up. We have a snippet, a picture of action. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about questions. Now that you have a better understanding of what a multi-mode essay would look like, here are your questions. Length, okay? A lot of students want to ask, well, how long is each paragraph? A paragraph should be at least 5 or 6 sentences. I do not want paragraphs that are a page long because I don't need you to write me a science fiction story or a mystery story. I just want a paragraph from what could be a larger work. Examples will be given to you every week. I'll be doing a couple different examples so that you can get an idea of what that looks like. Your due date is on your rubric. It's May 4th because that's finals week for WVUP, so that's when I need your papers so that I can have time to grade them. How are you writing these? We will work on each individual paragraph, then you will put them together and send it to me as one formatted APA paper. And why are we doing this? You have to have a final paper as part of most college courses, particularly college level introduction to literature courses. This is where you can show me that your writing can play with the genres that we're going to see in literature, the genres that we've seen this year. We've looked at horror, we've looked at plays, we've looked at nonfiction, we've looked at satire, we've looked at a variety of different types of text. So now you get the idea that you can begin to represent those texts in your own writing, because this is also a writing component for the class as well. All right, thank you. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope to hear from you shortly. Bye.